Why do most men fail with women before they even approach them? This is a million-dollar question, but the answer is simple. They don't know what traits women always notice in men. In this video, you're going to find 10 high-value traits that women can't help but notice in men. If you adopt them, you're going to be the most desirable man out there. So keep watching till the end so you can also learn how to implement these in your life. Number 10. Physical fitness. How can it be that we talk about manly traits and skip supreme physical fitness? However, before we dive into this, you need to understand something important. Being in shape is not just about looking good. In fact, looking good is a bonus. But the real reason women can't help but notice the physique of men is because it shows whether they're strong or not. We'll talk about strength as a separate trait further in the video, but for now, you need to know this. Before you go on to bulk up like a bodybuilder, let us guide you into what to do. So instead of bulking, you need to focus on building muscle mass. Building muscle mass improves your appearance. Plus, it also enhances your overall health and functionality. Lucky for you, we can even tell you which muscle groups you need to focus on. Did you know that there are certain muscle groups that women find the most attractive? Yep, let's look at those top 3 and give you some tips on how to target them. First up, we have obliques. The thing about these side muscles is that they give you that sleek, tapered look. To target them, you need to try the Russian twist exercise. It's a killer move for hitting those obliques and sculpting that midsection. Second, you have your glutes. You don't need to use fancy equipment to work those muscles. Instead, you can use simple exercises like air squats and lunges to firm up those muscles. Lastly, you have your abs. Of course, who doesn't want a six-pack? Planks and sit-ups are classic exercises that can help you build core strength and definition. This is a classic example of working smart and a tad bit hard to get back in the game. Number 9. Height. Well, it's no surprise that height has made its way on this list as well. But we're not going to talk about conventional stuff. You're not doomed if you aren't 6 feet tall. Instead, we're going to tell you about the things you have control over and how you can use them to your advantage. It's no secret that height does play a role in attractiveness and perception. When a 7-foot-tall man walks into the room, he turns more heads than any good-looking man would. In fact, women even prefer their partners to be at least 8 inches taller than them. Why? Well, taller guys are often seen as more masculine, confident, and successful. Society has this built-in preference for height, whether we realize it or not. But you know what? You can actually work with this 8-inch rule to your advantage. First up, play to your advantage. It's simple. Don't pedal in the water where you can't compete. Simply choose a partner who's at least 5 inches shorter than you. Don't worry, this doesn't cut down your options at all. Step 2 is simple. Stand up straight. We're quite serious. Bad posture is robbing you of your precious height. Roll those shoulders back and stand tall. Try it right now. You'd be surprised how much taller you can look with just a little adjustment. Lastly, pick the right footwear. Please swap out those flat shoes for something with a bit of lift. For instance, Air Force Ones instead of Converse. You don't realize how much of a difference this small change makes. Number 8. Dressing sense. With height and physical fitness, you also need to have some sort of fashion sense. You may not know, but for many women, a bad fashion style is a big deal breaker. Your first impression matters, and a good first impression can set up your entire game for you. Research has shown that women notice a man's dressing style before they notice their face, and the guys who dressed better were always rated more attractive. You see, it's all about that first impression, which frankly happens in a tenth of a second. But dressing well goes beyond just looking good. It's about making a statement, and let's be real. Who doesn't want to exude competence and confidence? So figure your style out and stick with it, instead of following nonsensical trends to look cool. Number 7. Loyalty. If you're a high-value man, loyalty for you should be a non-negotiable. Now, many men would portray themselves as loyal just for the sake of it, but the fact of the matter is that loyalty comes from practice. It's more than just keeping your hands to yourself. It's a whole mindset. And guess what? A woman who's getting to know you would gauge your loyalty by these small things. Let's talk about them. First up, The thing about loyalty is that it comes from treating your relationship with the same level of dedication and discipline you bring to every other aspect of your life. Think about it. You hit the gym religiously, you've kicked that porn habit to the curb, you're killing it at work, and you've got self-control for days. This is an indication that you'll also, hopefully, apply the same mentality to your relationship as well. And women dig that. If you're a disciplined man, it shows in your character. Number 6. Intelligence. Who doesn't like an intelligent person? Unsurprisingly, it's also a game changer when it comes to attracting a partner. Attractive women are drawn to men with brains to match their beauty. They can't help it because you're the whole package. Plus, smart men make for excellent conversationalists. And that's how, in the initial phases, women gauge whether you're intelligent or not. Now, there are 2 surefire ways to sharpen that brain of yours, and they're simpler than you might think. For starters, start reading more books. The thing is that your brain is like a muscle, and every time you open a book, you're giving it a workout. Plus, you get to soak up a ton of life experiences without even leaving your couch. Pretty sweet deal, no? Secondly, get moving. Research has shown that regular physical activity boosts activity in your hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for growing new neurons. So grab a book and hit the gym regularly. You'll become the most attractive guy in town. Number 5. Hygiene. Did you know that nearly 60% of men admit that they're clueless when it comes to keeping themselves fresh and clean? That's shocking, because women always want a man who smells clean, and it shouldn't be surprising if that's something a woman wants to notice in a man. Plus, a clean and fresh-scented man is way more attractive than any tall, well-dressed man. Now, there are 2 key areas that you need to focus on to up your freshly scented game. The first one is basic. Please, shower properly. From your armpits to your feet, scrub everything down every day to banish any funk. Next, always moisturize right after you hop out of the shower. Not only does this lock in hydration for smooth, flawless skin, but it also helps your scent last longer. Yep, that's right. Moisturized skin holds on to fragrances better, so you'll smell better for longer. Number 4. Kindness. We've covered over 5 traits up till now, but this one is pretty important. Now, you might have heard the age-old question, why do all women love bad boys? The truth is, even if they do, it's fleeting. You don't want to get into that game of being a bad boy at all. In fact, kindness is one of the key traits that women will always notice in men, regardless of what they want. Because when it comes down to it, what every woman truly wants is a man who will treat them and others with kindness and respect. It's as simple as that. Number 3. Strength. Physical fitness aside, strength is another ballgame altogether. When we say women notice strength in men, we don't just mean physical brawls. What women really want is a man who's strong in every sense of the word, so you've to tick the checklist of being confident, capable, and independent. And a man who can take care of himself and others is definitely the much stronger one. Now here's the thing. Being strong doesn't mean you can't show vulnerability or weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. Women want a man who's not afraid to be real, to open up, and to show his softer side when the situation calls for it. So don't be afraid to cultivate these kinds of strengths side by side with your physical fitness. Trust us, you're going to be much better off with them. Number 2. Honesty. When it comes to what women notice in a man, whether she wants to or not, honesty really tops the list. And for good reason. When you're honest with someone, it shows that you're not afraid to be real, even if it means saying things they might not want to hear. When you're honest with a woman, it makes her feel safe and valued. You're creating that sense of trust and openness, and it's something that every woman desires. So if you want to win her over, don't underestimate the power of honesty. Number 1. Ambition. Finally, ambition. Something that sets the winners apart from the rest. Here's the deal. If you're the kind of guy who thinks it's best to revolve your entire world around your girlfriend, you're in trouble. It's common sense. What's inspiring about a man who has nothing else going on in his life? It's like putting all your eggs in one basket and hoping for the best. Spoiler alert, it rarely ends well, and women know this. So whether they want or not, they'll always choose someone who shows ambition and a sense of purpose, because there's nothing sexier than passion and drive to achieve the best in the world. Now you're all set for success. And if you want to keep on succeeding, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more.